name is Sarah. Welcome to the It's a Sarah podcast. Today is Monday, November 7, and this is episode 45. Zonder geluid, ja. Wel muziekje eronder, oké? I love to crochet and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for this podcast. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. You can find me on Instagram as It's a Sarah, but I'm only active in Dutch there. But you can see my pictures, and it's like a knitting and crochet diary. And you can also hit the translation button, so you will understand a bit of what I write under my pictures. You can also find me as It's a Sarah on Ravelry and my project page. You can find all my projects. I will link them also below. And my notes on Ravelry I keep up in English, so you can check it if you want to know something. Yes, I make an episode every week, 2 episodes every week, one in Dutch and one in English. Every Monday, it's my Monday is my podcast day, and now and then something. When I have last week, I had some I had other things to do, so it's on a Tuesday, but mainly on on a Monday. Ha ha ha! There we go. My episode from last week wasn't okay. It just cut off, and it wasn't already ended. I don't know what was happening. I saw a comment from one of you. Thank you, and I checked it, and I was struggling while uploading, but I couldn't find why it cut off. And normally I have my episodes on my laptop, and I wait until all is online, and then I put them away, because they are too big files for on my laptop. And normally I will do that. I do that a few days later, but now I did it immediately. so I hadn't had the podcast left on my laptop, and I was not feeling very well, so there was no chance I would sit down with the laptop and do it again, upload it again. I had no motivation for that. So excuse me, I don't know what you have missed, but I always tell everything twice or 3 times, so that will be okay. Today I have a finished object. And it's a special one because it's the mystery knit along, so I will tell you all about that. And I picked up my test knit for Rebecca for the Creabea podcast, the Kerr sweater. I picked it up again. Actually, I started all over, but I will tell you about that. And I had a lovely knitting weekend with a visit to a nice yarn shop and a book party from a Dutch knitter. And I will tell you all about. I have bought some nice stuff. I was gifted some nice stuff, so enough to tell you about. And I wanted, I want to tell you about a scrappy project I picked up again. So let's start with what I'm wearing. Let's see, I am wearing my Hiedra headband, and it's a pattern from Fibertales, and I have a matching cardigan, matching yarn. I knitted the headband with a leftover from the cardigan. And this is the Acer cardigan from Amy Christophers. I don't know if maybe I did wear it a few times ago, I don't know. But I knitted it a few years ago, 3 years, and it is a lovely pattern with a lot of cables, but not hard to knit. And I love to wear it. I wear it open. Right now I know, then I didn't know that you have to put, when you place your buttons, it's you have to put a button here on the widest part of your breast, so they will stay nice and straight. I didn't know that by then, so I didn't do that. But I love to wear my cardigan open, so on a dress, maybe mostly with one button closed. This is my cardigan way. Yeah, I love the color. It is knit in Cascade 2020, 220, I guess. It's a lovely brown. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's some porridge. I guess for my breakfast, I don't know. Or toothpaste. Here, I don't know how it doesn't matter. I don't wash my woolies often. I will clean it with a bit of water and a towel, and then it's okay. So I love this color, I love this yarn, and I love this cardigan. Okay. Let's go to my finished object. Last week I was telling you all about the mystery knit along, and I had planned it as a challenge. I know it is not necessary to finish it in 4 weeks, but I planned a challenge, and I love a good challenge now and then. But I was a bit struggling, because after I planned this challenge with the mystery knit along, my agenda was way too busy for such a challenge. Normally I have quite some knitting time. I do prefer an empty agenda, and I often have an empty agenda. It's quite luxury, but I also do my best to keep my agenda quite empty. But I had so many plans, other stuff to do, and it's like crazy for 4 weeks already, and it isn't over yet. This week is also like crazy, and after that I think it will get better. I hope. But finishing my mystery knit along in 4 weeks was a bit too ambitious, I thought. But last week, when clue 4 came out and I was knitting, and on Sunday and on Monday, I don't know when the exact moment was, I realized I didn't was as much behind as I thought I would be. I think it's getting a bit dark. My phone is... Should I put a light on? I do have a ring light, but it is... I don't think this is... So, no, this isn't better. Bit. It's a very grey, cloudy day, and although it is in the early afternoon, I see my phone is quite old, so the quality of the filming of the camera isn't as good as I want it to be, and I'm on the selfie way because I can see how I show the things, but it's not a good quality, but it is what it is. And a new phone is on my wish list. So next time I will. Should I pick the ring light? I don't want to. I'm a bit lazy. I want to knit. Okay. Let's stay this way. So that Monday I realized maybe I can finish it in time, or I'm not so far behind as I thought I was. And I wasn't really I didn't really like the the last part of clue 4, Stephen had these wings, and then there was the middle part. It was a bit deeper than the rest, and it was not my taste, but it was my plan to make it, because I didn't knit this shawl. It wasn't my main goal to make a beautiful shawl. My main goal was enjoying the process and doing something out of my comfort zone and learning new stuff, and that. It wasn't important for me if I knitted something I could wear. That sounds really crazy, actually, when I say it loud. But it was. But I saw the, and I don't know if my episode last week was cut off already, but I saw a very nice modification from Rut. Rut from the Knitting Hobbit. She's a Dutch knitter too, but she has a knitting podcast in English, and her Instagram and everything, Ravelry, is all in English. I will link her latest episode below. She will tell you all about her modification, and there is a link to her notes on Ravelry. But she made a modification I really liked. So I decided to do that modification. Later I saw that there was an early bind of 2 in Stephen's pattern, and I did know that, but I hadn't see it already. But if I had seen it, maybe I would have chosen that one. I don't know. But now when my shawl is finished, I like the. I will show you. I will show you. That talks a little bit easier. But before I will show you, I will tell you something else, because these are my colors. I had a hand dyed by my own sock yarn. It was a blue yarn. I don't like blue. I do like brown. I'm not a dyer, but I can dye brown. I had 2 skeins of these, not especially for the mystery knit along, but I used them. And before I started, I had this thrifted sock yarn as a contrast color. And because the contrast was quite hard, I was a bit worried about color bleeding. So before I started the mystery knit along, I put my 2 skeins again in the bath, there was nothing happening. There was no brown in the water. The water was all clear, so I was not worried. But when I put my finished mystery knit along in my blocking bath, I added a bit of wool wash soap. So wool soap. How do you say it? Wool soap. That was the only difference. There was some wool soap in it, and there was some. And there was my shawl in it, and the water became all brown, all dark brown. Oh, what is happening? I thought. And I put my shawl out, and these 2 colors were totally different. They were soaking up all the brown. So I was a little bit worried, but not a lot, because I love brown, and everything can be brown, and I'll be happy. And also, when I put it on before my shawl was blocked, I found the contrast quite hard. It is a big contrast, a dark and a light color. So when there was happening some color bleeding, I thought maybe it is exactly what my shawl needs. A bit of lower contrast. And it happened because my colors changed. I have my mystery knit along shawl, my twists and turns, is thinking with me, and I want to be more brown. Okay. Let's show it to you. Here it is. Ta-da! It is quite big. It are actually some superhero wings. Okay. I love it. And when you can see the difference. It's a bit of pinky brownish caramel. There was a lot of bleeding, but I love it. The pink also gets a bit browny. I don't mind. I prefer these colors, I guess. So this is my mystery knit along. I finished the stripes. I love knitting the stripes. That was quite easy and fun to do. And then I added Ruth's modification, the scalloped, I was looking for the word last week, the scalloped edge. And what I like, she tells about it. Stephen had this chevron ending, and it is quite hard, a hard shape, the chevrons, and the stripes are quite hard, the chevrons are pointy and quite hard. Here they're all stripes, and this panel with the slip stitch has a soft shape and a soft round shape. And I think adding these little scalloping it makes the shawl more balanced between soft and hard shapes, and I really love it. And what I love the most are is the I-cord bind off, which go through the last loop. It was such fun to do. It was kind of when I just started, I thought, Stephen, where are your tutorials? Knitting this whole shawl, I was watching Stephen's tutorials, and my brain became lazy because I just have to watch what he does and then knit. That's all I had to do. And with the notes from Ruth, she had some basic notes, and but she had no video. Her notes were clear, but no video. So I had to put on my brain again. And that was quite hard. I missed the tutorials, but it was also good because my brain works perfectly, and it was just asleep. But I love the etching. I love it. I really love the result. So I made a little video of putting. I was taking pictures of the shawl, and what I think is quite hard for me to put on the shawl and wear it, and I made a little video I will add at the end, or maybe I already did at the beginning, I don't know. But when I don't like the ugly backside of shawls. I don't like them. Sometimes the back is also like, when I wear it like this, I don't feel happy. It's just a mess around my neck. I don't know, there's happening so much, and I don't know, I don't feel it. But as this shawl is quite long, I discovered I could wrap it twice. When I wrap it twice, oh gosh. When I wrap it twice, oh, I'm struggling a lot. When I wrap it twice, I feel better. And when I saw this, I thought, I see myself wearing the shawl this way. When I have, it's not matching with my coats, but when I have a warm one colored vest, cardigan, the vest is the Dutch word, cardigan on the brown, and when I see myself, I see myself going outside with these colors. I love the colors, and I also love, now you don't see an ugly backside, maybe a little bit here, but that's not worrying me. So maybe I will wear this shawl, this year's shawl. My last year shawlography, I didn't wear. I did wear it one time, but the colors, no. But maybe this one I will. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the end result. I'm also very happy that I finished this project. It was good to focus on one project for a few weeks. It really felt nice, and my focus was there. But it was a lot of knitting. I enjoyed almost everything. Only the beginning. The I-cord cast on, and the first few rows of clue 1, I really was struggling. Oh, I didn't like it. But the rest I did like, and I love the end result, so I'm a very happy person. And now I'm very happy it's finished, and I can pick up my other knits again. That's also nice. I did see a knitting podcast from, I don't know, it's a Finnish lady, and Annie Uni Knits. I don't know. I had to check. I love the name, but I don't know. And I feel a bit ashamed when I don't know it exactly. But she finished her mystery knit along after clue 2. She kitchened clue 2 together, and then she had a cowl. That's a hard word. Kool, we say in Dutch, and that looks also very nice. So maybe when you don't have the motivation to finish your mystery knit along, you can check her. When I think of it, I will link it below. And when I forget, just ask, and I can edit later. Yes, mystery knit along. Last year I was quite sure I would participate this year. Now I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'm still... my yarn choice isn't the best yarn choice, especially this one, because it is thrifted yarn. It's 60% wool and 40% nylon, and it feels a bit acrylic. So it isn't as soft as this part is very soft with the mohair. So maybe I will make another one next year in quite natural colors, maybe with less contrast, I guess, and a good yarn. Maybe I will do that. But it was also a lot of knitting, and I enjoyed it. But October is the month you want to knit for winter, and luckily it wasn't as cold as it normally is. It was quite warm for the time of the year here in the Netherlands, but I am looking forward to knit all the warm woolies now. So I've started. Let's see. I participate on a test knit, and I already started a few weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, and it is the Kerr sweater for Rebecca from the Bea podcast. I was watching her podcast on the television, and my youngest daughter, she's 13 years old, she saw it and she said, "Oh, I love that sweater." Rebecca was just asking for test knitters in that podcast. So I said to my daughter, should I knit you one? And she said, "Oh yes, I would like that." But we are a bit, my daughters, all my children, I have 2 daughters and 1 son, they are teenagers, and I've knitted them sweaters before, and then they don't wear them as much as I wanted to, because the fit wasn't exactly what they wanted, of the end result wasn't what they wanted. And I understand it, but when you are in the shop, you can put on a sweater or a cardigan and you can feel, oh, this is my thing or not. And when someone is knitting you, I also knitted a lot for myself, and I don't wear it because it isn't as nice as I hoped, or the fit isn't as good as I hoped. So I do understand them. So I made the appointment with myself. Let's only knit things for them in colors and shapes I would wear myself. So when they don't wear it, I can wear it by myself, and nobody is that's absolutely okay, because I understand it. But the Kerr sweater was a high neckline sweater, so it was I don't like high necklines, but I was so enthusiastic. No, I was so happy she wanted a handmade knit. I forgot it. I didn't forget it, but I don't want to think about it. So she said, I want a black and white version with a black, mainly black and white color work panel on the body and on the sleeves, and that was such a good idea. So I ordered yarn, but she didn't want itchy yarn, and I did order itchy yarn. I ordered a yerbo, two threads wool, I think that's the translation, and it's a non-superwash sport weight wool, and it's very rustic. So when I got it, she said, "Oh, but that's way too itchy for me." But I I didn't feel like knitting this sweater in a soft merino, in a soft flubbery merino. I want some rustic yarn, so I ignored it and said, we will see. But while knitting it, I decided to change the neckline, to do a modification, so the neckline wouldn't be as high as the pattern says, but went a bit down. That increases the chance my daughter wouldn't wear it, but it also increases the chance it would make me happy and I would wear it. So I did apply for the test yarn for a certain size, but I didn't look at it. I'm a very bad test knitter. I shouldn't apply for test knits. I don't like, I also started test knit a bit later, so other people picked up all the things that aren't correct, the mistakes in the pattern, so I don't have to do that. It's really bad. And then also I like to do a modification to the pattern, and that's also not, it is okay. I didn't ask Rebecca. I didn't ask her permission. My husband always says you shouldn't ask things you don't want the answer on. So when I should ask her and she said, oh no, that's not what I want, I couldn't do it. And now I could do it. And I'm absolutely sure that Rebecca, I think she absolutely agrees with it. It's totally okay for her. She doesn't seem to me like a person. I think she had a lot of tests, and I think she's only happy when someone added something of her own, so I don't think it's a problem. And even when I keep up good notes, it can be an inspiration for other people, so it's absolutely okay. But I must not apply for test knits again. The main reason I apply for test knit is that I think, oh, I want that sweater and I don't want to wait until the pattern will be released. I want it now, and that's not a good motivation for a test knit. You have to help the designer. But I knitted quite a bit, and I love the construction. It was quite new for me. It is a drop shoulder construction, I guess. I don't know if you call it like that, but for the designs of my own, which aren't designs but only my own recipes, I guess I could say it better like that. I always knitted bottom up, and I did the same construction but then bottom up, and this was top down. And in the beginning I didn't understand what I was doing. I had no idea, but there is a test knitters chat on Instagram, and there were some pictures, and that helped me a lot. So I did understand what I was doing, and I liked it. Also, although it was black yarn, back and forth, stockinette a lot in the beginning, I really liked it. But I put it away for 4 weeks because all my attention went to the mystery knit along, and I was on my knitting holiday. I had a lovely party I told about it in last week's episode, but I don't know if that part it was skipped by the mistake. But it was a 2.5 hour drive, and for me it's a lot. And I think you could see it because there were some comments about it. But in other countries, 2.5 hour drive is nothing, but for me it is. So no way I was driving 2.5 hour and on the same day 2.5 hour back, because I don't like, mainly I go by train, but this was in a very little village. I couldn't get there by train. So my husband says, you go look for an Airbnb and stay there for a weekend. And I thought, I never do that, but I always wanted to do that, always wanted. So I did it. I went on Friday and I knit all night. I had a lovely cozy room in the house. It was a little old farm from a lovely old lady, and it was so cozy, and I loved it. I had an electric bed. Do you say it in English? Electric bed sounds a bit scary. In Dutch we say elektrisch bed, but you can put on the button and your head goes up and your feet goes up, and I liked it, and it was perfect for knitting. I was laying in my bed so good with my laptop and a knitting podcast under a blanket and knitting. I was so happy. And I had plans for the next day, for Saturday. I would go to several yarn shops in the neighbor, because it's not my neighbor. I never come there. So I would visit yarn shops and I would take a walk. And what was I want to visit some thrift shops, because I like visiting thrift shops. And I would have a coffee with someone. And my day was full. And at the end of the day, I had the book party at the lovely yarn store. But I was so tired. I wasn't feeling well last week and I had such busy weeks. I was so tired. So I had a walk with a lady from the house, in a lovely walk. It was beautiful there. And then I came back to my little room, and there was a lovely chair and I had some tea, and I told myself, let's sit and knit for an hour, and then you go and do all your stuff. But I sat for an hour, then I didn't want to go. I only want to knit. It was so lovely. And then I thought, skip all the stuff except the party, but skip all the stuff and you can knit. It's okay. It's okay to knit. I'm such an addict. So I knit and knit and knit, and I don't know if I told it. I did start again, because my Kerr sweater, I had no idea what I was doing, and I was not knitting the good size, and I did some modifications, but I didn't understand exactly what I was doing. I didn't understand my own notes, and because it's a test knit, I want to do some good notes for my modification, so when other people want to use it, they understand it. So I decided to rip out, and I didn't rip out immediately. I cast on a second version, and I knit, and it was so much fun. Although it was black and stockinette, it was so much fun. There was happening enough to didn't get bored, and but it also wasn't hard. And I loved knitting it. I knitted. And finally I could join in the round. And I knit the first rows of the color work. That was the thing I was looking forward to. The first rows of the color work I knitted at my lovely room. And then it was time to go home. But I will show you. It is quite hard to see. It's a drop shoulder construction, and I really love it. I was a bit worried about the fit, because I make size 3, and it isn't a size I would choose for myself, and I was knitted it for myself, but I knitted it for my daughter, and I knit size 3. But there is a lot of ease, enough ease. I did head gauge. Do you say it like that? No, I did mat gauge. No, I did head gauge. Mat gauge. No, my gauge was on, was not off, was on. So I think it's okay. But what I did, I load the neckline. You do some decreases quite quickly, and then you knit in the round. And then you knit a few centimeters before you do armhole increases, and I changed that part. At first you knit the back, and I counted the rows. You have to knit from one point to another point. You have to knit several centimeters. I won't say it because it's in the pattern, and then you have to do some armhole decreases. So I counted that rows, these rows, and then I did some calculations, how many rows I would need for the increases for the neckline, and when I have to start to do them at the end. And I did, and now my neckline, it isn't super low, but it is a bit like this, I guess, and it gives me just enough space. I think, and because it's a warm woolly sweater, it is sport weight yarn, so it's not a thick sweater, but it feels very warm and woolly. It's a perfect warm layer for winter, and because it's not thick, I see myself wearing a cardigan over it. I do love layers, especially when it's very cold. So I see myself wearing a cardigan over it, and it's perfect. So before I started the color work, I did the ribbing on the neckline because I want to be sure that the fit was okay. It says the pattern tells you to do it at the end, but I thought let's do it immediately. And the pattern also tells you to do a double color and folded double, a folded color. And I really love the look of a folded color, but I wasn't sure how it would look with a lower neckline. And this one was faster. So I'm not quite sure. I really love the color. I just did 10 rows of knit through purl 2, and I love how it fits. But maybe when my sweater is finished, I will check if I always can pick up the stitches again and add 10 rows and fold it double to look how it is. And yesterday I started color work. Oh, I love the color work. Oh, it's so good. I am looking forward to knit color work forever. I think my Avena is my last color work project and I want to knit color work forever, but I don't understand why I don't do it. And now finally I'm knitting some good color work, and look at this chart. Oh, I really love it. And I also love the color choice of my daughter, black and white. I would never have chosen a black and white sweater, I guess, but it's absolutely something I need in my wardrobe, a black and white sweater. It's perfect. I love it, I love it, I love it. And it's so addictive. And the chart, it's quite a big chart, more than 20 stitches, so it isn't repetitive. It is, I have to count and I have to pay attention, and just when I think, oh, now it's in my head, I finished the round and a new round starts. But it is very, very nice. I really love it. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to finish it. So I will knit on this, and it will be my main project for these coming weeks. I hope I finish it quite quickly because the deadline for the test knit is end of November, I guess. So the pattern will be released quite soon after that. I think Rebecca has a date already, but I don't know. Oh, I love it. It's absolutely lovely. So I will knit, and I hope to show you next week a lot of progress. I don't think I can't finish it. I could finish it when I have a lot of knitting time, but I don't have a lot of knitting time, but I love it. So the Kerr sweater from Rebecca from the Crea Bea podcast. Okay, one other project I picked up again is my scrappy blanket. Every morning I start my day with 30 minutes of heerlijk handwerk halfuurtje. Een heerlijk handwerk halfuurtje is Dutch for lovely, crafty 30 minutes, I guess. And I don't like how it sounds in English, but I do like how it sounds in Dutch. Heerlijk handwerk halfuurtje is for me the perfect way to start my day. And I have some rules for those 30 minutes. I work on a project which isn't hard, but also isn't boring. And mainly these are colorful scrappy projects. It can be a sock, but mainly I work on my scrappy blankets. But the past few weeks I worked on the mystery knit along. I needed all my knitting time for mystery knit along, but that is finished now, so I could grab my how do you call, what's your name again? Northeasterly blanket. Let's see, my needles are stuck in. Come on, guys. Yes, there you are. This is the Northeasterly blanket, a pattern from Scanian. I hope I say it right. I don't know her real name, but that's her Instagram name, and I guess also on Ravelry. I will link it below. And this is my scrappy blanket. It's the perfect blanket for scraps. It is knit in sock yarn. The pattern also tells you how to do DK weight yarn. But this is a memory blanket. All my socks and all the other fingering weight stuff are in this blanket, and it is absolutely a process knit. I don't know exactly when I started. I hope I noticed it on my Ravelry, and otherwise I have to check my Instagram so I could find a date, but it's for 2 or maybe 3 years already, and I work on it now and then. And I was in February of this year because I know these colors are little mini skeins I bought on the Handwerkbeurs, and that's a Dutch knitting event, a crafty event, and it was in February. So this color was chosen by my friend, which was with me that day, and it reminds me of her red lipstick. So it was quite fun. And now I'm adding some socks, and yeah, it's just a lovely, lovely work. I'm working on DPNs. Just that's nice. I love it that way. So I love this blanket, all the colors, and I don't need a blanket. And I think I'm not glad when I'm not happy when it's finished, because it's just such lovely work. I do have also my coziest memory blanket with the squares, and I do have granny square blankets, but I will focus on one of them at a time now and then, and I change. So these are slow projects. They have no hurry. It's just memories. I love it. I love it. I couldn't imagine I have no scrappy projects in my life. They make me so happy all the time. I'm not sure how my scrappy blanket is there. Should I take it? Moment. It's on the couch. This is a finished scrappy project. I finished it last year, and this is a crochet blanket with granny squares, and it is such a big blanket. I loved making this. It was a wonderful project. I love making it, and it's so nice to sit under on the couch and everybody uses it. And all the colors and all the scraps. It's just perfect. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes, I love it very much. So, okay, let's see. At my knitting weekend, I had a book party in the lovely yarn shop Wolverhalen. You can say it's wool stories in English. Wolverhalen is the shop of Catharina. And Catharina, it was absolutely the most lovely, wonderful yarn shop I have ever seen. Her husband built the building, the shop. It was a lot of wood, and it was just amazing. And Catharina has a whole place which she can dye yarn, because that is what she does. And she had a lot of a yarn shop, a store where all these beautiful hand-dyed skeins were stored. And we were invited by Maartje. Her Instagram name is I Knit. She hustled the letters, I Knit. And she made a knitting book, a Dutch knitting book. And it heet Ik brei, jij breidt, wij breien. And in English it is I knit, you knit, we knit. And there are 12 projects in this book. Socks, sweaters, cardigans. I love this cardigan. This is Maartje. I love this cardigan, a brioche cardigan. And there's an amazing shawl. Let's see, there's so many. I have to look what I can show without giving too much information away. That's always hard. She made a lovely shawl. And this shawl has all kind of stitch patterns which are coming back in all kind of other patterns in this book. Lovely socks. I really love this book. It looks great. And Maartje is a lovely lady, a very lovely hat and a cardigan. And the book is in Dutch, but she will. She told me she will put the patterns on Ravelry also in English. So I don't know when she wants to do it, but I am quite sure there are a lot of people who will love these patterns, but Dutch knitting patterns are not what you want. These socks, I will knit these socks. With the book, it was gifted to me. There were also 2 skeins of yarn in lovely colors. I will knit these socks in this color one day. I don't know when. So it is absolutely a lovely book. Beautiful book. And in the book you can scan with your phone and you come on tutorials online. So a lovely book, and when the patterns come in English, I will let you know. Okay, so that was my visit to the knitting to the book party, and it was lovely because there were all ladies, all lovely ladies, and we chatted, and there were nice things to eat and drink. So it was a lovely afternoon, and of course I did some yarn shopping. These ones, my mother told me, oh, you're going to that shop, I need some moss green yarn for a cardigan. So if you see something, you can buy it for me. Oh, you don't have to tell me twice. This lovely color. This is hand dyed by Katarina. It is British wool, 100%. Blue-faced Leicester. Do you say Leicester? Because there is Leicester, but you say Leicester, I guess. Blue-faced Leicester and Mashem. I don't know what kind of sheep that is, but it feels very good. It's fingering weight, and I love this color. So I filmed it and I sent it to my mom. Is this the color you're looking for? Yes, she said. Yeah, I love it. And I also, my birthday is next week, so my mother said, here, you can buy something yourself for your birthday. So I bought myself 2 skeins in this lovely color, and later I saw the name of the color is Sarah, and Sarah is, it's only 1 letter away from Sarah, so of course this Sarah yarn has to go with Sarah. It's a lovely color, and I was one of the ladies at the book party was Lydie Noy, and she was wearing a helix cardigan, and I didn't know the helix cardigan, but it was a lovely pattern. She made a very short one and was wearing it on a dress with a V-neck shape, and she was very. She said she already made 4 or 5, and she said it's such a lovely pattern, and I will make a helix cardigan with these 2 skeins, and it's fingering weight, so it will be a light cardigan, and I see myself wearing this with a black dress on Christmas dinner. So I only have to make the cardigan, but it will not be a lot of work, I guess. I love it. Yeah. There was so much other yarn I want to have, but when I see so much yarn, I get a bit overwhelmed and I don't know it anymore. I didn't have a list. I do have too much wool already, so I didn't need something. What I do need, now I also didn't need that, but what I am doubting to buy for ages now are knitting needles. When I started knitting, I had an interchangeable set from Knit Pro, and it was dramatic. The interchangeables, I invested in an interchangeable set when I started knitting. It was not even 100 euros, I guess. So they were cheaper than Chow Goose are. Tell a good story, Sarah. When I discovered the Chow Goose, I thought, oh, these needles are much better. But I have interchangeable trauma, so I just bought needles with circular needles, not interchangeables, just the cable on it. How do you say it? Now you know what I mean. And everybody said, no, Chow Goose interchangeables, they are good and you should buy that. No, I'm not doing that again. Yeah. So I invested in all the needles, all 100 centimeter cables, so I could knit everything, magic loop, whatever, and I could knit everything. And then I discovered the shorties, and I was gifted 1 set of shorties by Edna, by a yarn shop, a yarn company, and I also bought myself the red set. So I was happy. Then I have interchangeables, and I could knit with these. But I don't like to knit with the short tips continental. I do love when I knit English style, but I prefer continental, and they are too short for me for my hand. So I was happy with them, but not as I didn't use them as much as I hoped. So the Chogu interchangeable set with longer needle points of 13 centimeter was in my dreams. So I checked Katarina if she had these needles in her shop, and she had. So I thought, should I ask her to put them away so I can bring it when I visit her shop? But then it's too much money. I do have the money, but I thought I prefer buying wool for that money. I do have the needles. It's okay. I can knit everything. Do you want always? I want more. But then I was in the shop, and then I did bought the needle set, and I didn't knit. When I was my husband, when he is doing work, I don't know. He's in Dutch you say klussen. I don't know the English word. I don't also know the English word for gereedschap. The stuff you need when you are doing things in the house. You are fixing things in the house, and I'm not a fixer. I don't like to do that, but my husband is a very handy fixer, and he has all the stuff, and it is absolutely okay. My vocabulary in English for that kind of stuff, the bzzz, I don't know. I never use that word in English, but when he have to do something in the house and he needs some of that stuff for it, he buys good stuff, and he invests in it so he can use it the rest of his life. And I'm absolutely okay with that. I think it's a good idea. But when it comes to my knitting, I'm thinking different. I don't invest in the good stuff, and I don't know why, because it's exact the same. I use my knitting needles a lot more than he uses stuff in the barn. I don't have a barn. We have a very little barn. It sounds more something for a farm, but and he's absolutely okay. He of course you should invest in your knitting needles. Why shouldn't you? So I did, but I didn't bought the whole set. I bought the smaller set, and now I regret it a bit because this space was empty in my needle case, and the needles 5.5 millimeter to 10 millimeter. I thought it was enough money, but I thought I don't use them as much. But when I thought, oh, I'm gonna knit with Elephos Lopi quite soon, and 5.5 and 6 and 6.5 I need. And I have them. I do have them, but not in my set. But it's okay. It's okay. My mom has these, and I can borrow the needles from her, and I can collect them and edit maybe. So I will complete the set. But I think it was better when I bought the whole set. So, but I'm very happy with it. Want in my Kerr sweater, I used all the needles and the cables to fit and to change, and I'm very, very happy with it. So. The needles, I finally have them. And last but not least, I received a very lovely gift from from a Dutch knitter. She watches my podcast, and she does take part in my. My phone is empty. I'm already almost finished, so I think it will be okay. But she said, she texted me, Sarah, I have something little for you. It reminds me of you. Can I send it to you? Of course you can. And then then I received it, and it was not little. It was so much. Look at this. It's hand-spun yarn. It is so lovely. And the labels were on it. It is waddenwool. And the Waddenzee is a part of the sea at the north of the Netherlands, and I think it's from there, from Texel, from one of the islands, and it is Swift and Zwartbles, two kind of sheep, and it is lovely. It is so soft and it is lovely. So it was a very lovely gift. It makes me very happy. I bought the Cargill Cole pattern from Rebecca. She was, how do you say it? All the pattern, the money she earns with the pattern will be gifted to an organization, and she tells you all about in one of her episodes. And I want to support. I want to support everyone when I can get a nice knitting pattern. It's very lovely and very generous of Rebecca, but I would have bought it anyway. I can see me wearing a Cargill Cole in this yarn, so once I have time to knit a cole, I will do that. So I'm ready. I have told you everything I wanted to tell you, so yeah, it's time for me to edit this podcast and do it very quickly. And I hope this week you can see it till the end, and then I will knitting on my Kerr sweater. I wish you a very nice week, and I hope a lot of knitting and crochet time, and I see you next Monday. Bye bye.